All right. Back up. A little bit off the game. Hello, everyone. My name is Bill Watts, and I'm Tony's older brother and best man. This should fix the game issue. It's actually a little surreal being here today. I never really pictured Tony actually getting married. Now, please, it's not because I think that Tony's going to make a terrible husband, far from it. It's just that whenever I picture Tony, I always see him as Tony. You know, he's the kid that I used to drag into the middle of the grass to listen to screams of terror because he was afraid of the lawn. Or the kid who was so easily convinced to eat dead flies from the windowsill of our house in Milpitas. But despite years of torture by me, we're actually very close, and we grew up very closely. I like to think that this was because that we've always had a lot of respect and admiration for each other. I've always admired Tony for his ingenuity, his intelligence, and Tony has always admired me for my innate awesomeness. Now, despite our mutual respect for each other, we didn't always get along. Video games were a pretty constant source of contention between us. I remember this one time we were playing Nintendo, and Tony got upset. After a brief ruckus, my mom came into the back of the house to find me standing there playing video games with Tony wrapped around my leg using my thigh as a punching bag. Now, we had a no-hitting policy in our house growing up, and so of course Tony was punished and he was sent to his room. Now, everyone knows that when a child is sent to their room, they are, Tony knows the story, they are meant to reflect on what they've done. Now, Tony reflected, and he determined that what had happened to him was actually unfair. And furthermore, he felt that I should be punished. And if our mother was not going to mete out that punishment, he would do it himself. So what he did is he constructed a tripwire across the entrance to his room, and then lined up row after row after row of thumbtacks in the carpet with the pointed side up. Now, these thumbtacks were placed in just the perfect place, such that you would enter the room and trip on the tripwire, and when you took a step to regain your balance, you would come down with all of your weight on the thumbtacks. Now, Tony's calculations were precise. His designs were perfect. But he forgot one small thing. I had gone outside to play with a friend. So, when he called my name to spring my trap, he got my mom instead. It's very, very unfortunate that Tony did not go into engineering, because it did work perfectly. But as we all know, Tony actually didn't go into engineering. He went into education, and he's a teacher. I have no idea how he deals with teenagers on a daily basis. Personally, couldn't do it. But I do love the fact, and am so proud of him, that he's found a noble, admirable profession that he loves and excels at. Now on to Erin. I actually met Erin for the first time on a camping trip. This was a camping trip. It was near Pescadero, which is where Tony eventually proposed to Erin. This camping trip I had planned with a whole bunch of my friends. Tony actually didn't know most of them, and Erin came out only knowing Tony. Despite this fact, Erin was instantly taken into the group. Her warm personality, her beautiful smile, and her always great sense of humor instantly endeared her to our group. And everybody was very, very disappointed when she had to leave early the next day. I actually pulled Tony aside that day and told him, Tony, do not mess this up. I really, really like her. And to his credit, we're here today. Fast forward a few months, probably a year. I travel a lot for work. My job takes me to exotic locations like Smyrna, Georgia, Lake Forest, Illinois. Those of you who have been to Lake Forest know what I'm talking about. This particular day, I was driving back from a customer site in Princeton, New Jersey. This was a very stressful day, a very difficult customer, and out of the blue I get a call from Tony. This is bizarre because Tony actually does not call me when I'm traveling. He'll usually wait till I get home and we'll go out for a beer. So it was a little weird, but we were chatting and it was a good talk, but I could tell that Tony was beating around the bush. And eventually he blurted out, "Bill, I want to marry Erin. What do you think?" Instantly all the stress from that day just melted away and was replaced with elation.